Views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast.
Well, hello there, and welcome to this week's edition of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast. I'm John Engelman. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you all survived the storms earlier this week, by the way. Looks like that big old hail we got is going to get us a new roof over here at Casa de Flavors, so we're doing good. Speaking of good, we're taking a bit of a left turn this week as we're heading out to the Rogers Farmers Market, where we had a bit of a roundtable, and we will get to that. But first, good news. So much to get to from the past week and for what's coming, and we kick it off with some sad news from yesterday. Pesto's by Lance in Fayetteville has closed their doors. Lance, by the way, was my very first podcast interview last February, and he was the perfect choice. He had stories for days. After Lance, I thought, this podcast thing's going to be easy. Those of you that heard it know what I'm talking about, though. Lance took to social media yesterday with good news to go with his bad news.
Hey, Fayetteville, I got a couple announcements to make, some good, some bad. Let's start with the good. My beautiful mother at 84 has moved out to Arkansas, and I will be watching over her like she's watched over me for many, many years. In August, I'm going to be a grandfather. Grandpa Chef on his way. But the bad news is, due to the ongoing building maintenance, a brutal year-long divorce, and the rising costs of rent, I will be closing the doors. But I do want to say I thank you so much, and it was such an honor to serve you and make you happy with good food. And I look forward to doing something exciting down the road, and I will keep you posted, so stay tuned. And I also want to give a shout out to my absolutely amazing staff. It takes a village. I couldn't have done it without them, and they were amazing, and I love them so much. So anyways, stay tuned, and we'll see you down the road. Thank you very much, and I will miss you.
More closure news, although this one might be temporary, as Renzo's Pasta and Italian Steakhouse is pausing service for a bit at both locations in Fayetteville and Springdale. A note on the door said that owner Robert Lee is dealing with the legalities of the recent passing of his wife and would announce a reorganization soon. Taqueria Lucha opened on Dickson Street last week in the spot that most recently was Tony's New York-style pizza. They serve Mexican street tacos, burritos, quesadillas, and the like. They're open Sunday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and get this, Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. The Apartment 7 bar has opened in the space formerly known as WineU on 15th Street across the street from Baum-Walker Stadium in Fayetteville. Owner and GM Cody Gregg explains the concept.
So it is a apartment-themed cocktail bar. The aim for the space was basically kind of take that New York Manhattan-y kind of a vibe and just take that into a bar format. So it's, no matter where you're standing in this place, we have that big U-shaped concrete bar. No matter where you are, it's the bartender's front and center. So we wanted a lot of action, and we wanted to feel like the bartender's like hosting you in their own space. So that's the reason for the couches and like just that more laid back, kind of homey sort of a feel to the space.
Popular Texas barbecue chain Rudy's Barbecue opened Monday in Fayetteville at MLK and Ruppel Road. They serve brisket, ribs, sausage, all kinds of pork, chicken, sandwiches, and breakfast tacos that, by the way, Mrs. Flavors of Northwest Arkansas says are spectacular. They also have a country store for apparel to gift items to grab-and-go food. Very soon, when you're shopping at the Brick City Shops at Evelyn Hills, you'll be able to get a sweet treat. Hugs Ice Cream will open there on June 1st. They will be open 7 days a week. Hugs is owned by the Goldens, the family behind Mermaids. I've had some folks ask me when Mermaids will open in Rogers, and I usually say pretty soon. Now I'm saying sooner than soon. I caught up with Mermaids events and marketing coordinator Hannah Golden, who echoes that.
So we are so close at Mermaids here in Rogers. We are rounding third base, if you will, and we finished all our paperwork. We are getting everything set up, and all of our staff is in and getting trained. So we're not going to put a date on it, but we are so close.
Thinking in about the next week or two for sure. How about this news? France's top sommelier and number 2 in all of Europe will be hosting a tasting event at Bienvenue in downtown Springdale on May 30th. David Barol will guide a tasting through iconic Burgundies and Bordeauxs. He'll be joined by Laurent Lerod of the esteemed Lerod Cognac Estate, where he will guide guests through some of the most celebrated offerings from his estate. Of course, my Be in the Know podcast partner, Chef Will Mock, will pair with a 5-course tasting menu that will exceed your expectations like always. You're seeing it right now on your screen if you're on YouTube. Get your tickets quickly and see more at bienvenuerestaurant.com. Huge congrats to Trey Fincher, the head bartender and managing partner at the Sidecar in Fayetteville. He competed this past weekend in the World-Class U.S. Championships as one of the top 30 bartenders in the U.S., sponsored by the U.S. Bartenders Guild. Though he did not advance to the top 10, this was just his first time. He'll continue to refine his craft for next year, and you can taste the fruits of his efforts at the Sidecar. Of course, it's below Cafe Rue Orleans. The AC Hotel opened last Thursday on the new Walmart campus. It was a first-class event with champagne, hors d'oeuvres, jazz, and the place was packed. I got to take a sneak peek the day before at Falfurrias, the cocktail and small plate spot on the 5th floor. Now, it's named Falfurrias after a town in South Texas where Sam Walton used to hunt, and you can even see his hunting jacket hanging in the hallway. The rooftop lounge is open-aired and has one of the best views in all of Northwest Arkansas. Corey Hospitality operates the hotel, and Senior Vice President of Food and Beverage, Michael Duzuk, says it's been a long time coming.
We've been planning this for about 3 years now, so we're very excited to be standing at Falfurrias. We have a great team. We did a lot of R&D throughout the state to look to see what we could bring into the community. So we have small plates featuring, and the menu's going to evolve as we grow, so we're excited.
By the way, here's a map of all the things coming to the home office, including Onyx Coffee Lab, Airship, Flyway Brewing, and also announced last week, Table Au Center from the Table Group. Now, if you look to the far right there, you'll see Sweet Green. They're known for fresh salad bowls and protein plates, and they'll be making their entry into Arkansas later this year, but it's going to be at the South Yard in Fayetteville first, followed by the east side of the Walmart campus on 8th Street. Finally, a big shout out to the Bentonville Brewing family as they celebrated their 10-year anniversary last Friday. Katie Boykin co-owns the brewery with her husband, Bo, and she reflects on the past decade.
It's been a lot. I moved to Arkansas, moved our brewery 2 times, became a mom of 2. We went from having like 5 employees to 32, so it's been quite the wild ride.
Of course, we're in farmers market season here, and it's a serious time of year for those that run them and those that have booths. The Rogers Farmers Market got displaced by the tornado last year, but they've come back strong. Owner-operator Grant Wise took it over from his mom last year, carrying on the family tradition. But with that came new ideas, new marketing, and a new location, a very different one that's paying off early. We hear from Grant and 2 local vendors that basically plan their whole week around shopping in the shade. Now, if you don't know what that means, you will shortly. And it's right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. Innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Hi there, welcome back to the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast. We are at the Rogers Farmers Market here in Pinnacle area, and we're with Grant Wise, Rogers Farmers Market. Sir,
Thanks
thank you.
for having me. Appreciate it.
We're also joined by Brandee Howell of J-Bar H.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Jessica Fiscus with Timber Acres Homestead.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thank you all, guys. Thank all of you all for being here. I'll get it out somehow, right? Just brutal. I want to talk, by the way, dry parking garage because at some point, like earlier this week, I thought we were going to get rained on.
Yep.
You know, the early, you're looking Monday and Tuesday, and it's never right for the weekend, but you look, you're seeing rain, you're thinking, but I'm like, oh, wait, it's a parking garage.
Yes.
How perfect, right?
Yeah. It's perfect.
Oh,
100%.
That's good. Well, it's Farmers and First Responders Day, and if you guys can kind of see in some of these cameras right here, we've got a SWAT team truck behind us. We've got police on the other side of it. Out here, we've got a fire truck, and the kiddos are climbing all around, and it's really been fun to watch. And I'll get a little video of it to put up too before we're out of here. But talk about that. What a great theme for the day.
It's something that we put a lot of time and attention into. We took the market over last season, and after our first few markets, I was like, well, I'm a marketing guy, so I'm like, okay, what can we do to bring attention to what we're doing? And we started doing some themes, and it just worked. And so we've made it an integral part of what we do with the market. We try to have a new theme for every week, and we love finding ways to support the people that are already in the community whenever we do that. So this week was Farmers and First Responders. We've got some more amazing events lined up for the rest of the year, but it's always fun to get these guys out here. And we were all like little kids when that SWAT truck pulled up.
Gosh, are you kidding me?
It was a pretty fun thing to be a part of, that's for sure.
Were you afraid that thing wasn't going to fit in here?
Well,
I mean, it's pretty
when
high.
I talked to the sheriff, he said, we'll get a SWAT truck out there. I'm thinking like, okay, cool, those big black box trucks. And then when that pulled up, I'm like, that's better. Whatever that is, that's better than what I thought.
That is awesome. I mean, it is formidable.
Yes.
And it is right behind you, and I can just sit here and stare at it, but I'll get a little video of it later. But you got more themes coming up.
We do, yeah. We've got Fresh Fruit and Freedom coming up for Memorial Day. We've got Petals and Produce. We've got a Meow Market. We had a dog market last season.
Just stop.
Everybody's like, we got to get the
Meow
cats.
Market?
So it's Adopt a Cat Day, like nationally.
Okay, very cool.
And so we figured, well, great, we'll play on that. So we're going to do the Meow Market. I'm not sure how many cats we'll have out here, but we are going to pay homage to all the people that are like, well, you celebrate the dogs. Everybody always celebrates the dogs. What about the cats? So we'll see how that goes. But we've got a great lineup. We've got all kinds of cool stuff lined up for the rest of the year.
That's awesome. So I want to start with you. This is the original Rogers Farmers Market.
Rogers Farmers Market.
Tell me about that.
It was started back in 1980, I think it's 86 or 88.
Okay.
A group of farmers got together and said, we got to figure out how to sell all our produce. And so they put a group together that was known as the Northwest Arkansas Fresh Growers Association.
Interesting.
And my mom joined the market 25 years ago. I remember when I was a kid, we would start going to this place and we would show up and she was putting flowers together and stuff like that. Then she started baking, and then my wife jokes that she gets voluntold. I think my mom may have gotten voluntold that she needed to like start managing everything, but no.
Perfect.
She took it over, started managing it, and then last year when the tornadoes came through, it kind of became too much. She was displaced, and it was right in the middle of market season, and everybody remembers what that side of town looked like. She was at our house, and my wife went to the store, and she came home, and I was like, hey, congrats, we own the farmer's market now. This is something that we're going to be able to grow. And she was like, what? What are we going to do?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What do we got going on? It goes back to that voluntold thing. So we took it over, and I knew that the best thing to do was to move it over here. Move it over to uptown. So now we've got a downtown farmer's market, which is fantastic, and then we've got an uptown market. And we absolutely love being here, and we love that it's unique. It's a totally unique farm-to-table experience. We're always protected by the elements. It paid off Market 1 this year. It was a torrential downpour, and we were thinking we might have to cancel. And a lot of the other markets did because the weather was not good. It was, but the vendors came in. They're also tough. And like, no, we're staying. We're already set up. We're not going anywhere. And we ended up having an amazing first day, and proof as to why being in a garage is so beneficial because we're covered.
Yeah. I'm thinking that was probably top of mind, especially when you're thinking of tornadoes and such.
Yeah.
I'm sure that played into it a bit.
I was a little more nervous than everybody else. I'm like, hey, there's lightning. If it was just rain, but it's lightning over here. That all calmed down. We ended up having an amazing market. And then in the summer, it's
covered. You got a breeze.
You can stand in here, and then you can walk outside, and you can feel the temperature difference. It's 10, 15, 20 degrees hotter sometimes, it feels like. So it's totally paid off. Everybody loves it.
That's great.
Everybody comments that, oh, it's so nice in here. So it's great.
And that's kind of been you've got to evolve along the way too. Yeah. I know there's you've got some of the other farmers markets around Northwest Arkansas, same spot, same people, in a lot of cases that's great. But with the evolution of things, the weather, as it were, this is really kind of a good place. How did you secure here?
Yeah,
can you get into the nuts and bolts just a little bit?
When I took the market over, I was like, okay, we're going to move it. Where are we going to put it? And we had a few locations on this side of town that we were looking for. And come to find out, there were a lot of people that wanted a market over here.
Okay.
And that was good, but it's like, okay, where? Do we go to the mall? Do we go to Target? Do we go to... And then my wonderful wife's like, it would be really cool if we could do it in the parking garage. And I was like, that would be amazing. Because then it's always shaded. The people don't have to get out their tents. We don't have like stuff blowing around everywhere all the time. We're protected from the elements.
Yeah.
And so I just started calling around. I had an idea of who owned the property, and I called one guy, and then I eventually got over to Bobby and his wonderful family, which owned the parking garage, and we talked about it. He thought it was a great idea. He's got buddies in Tampa that have markets, and
nice.
They gave me the brother-in-law deal to get it, because we're a farmer's market. So
that's great.
We got to figure that out.
That's great.
No, they have absolutely loved having us here, and we've been so grateful for their generosity in letting us set up here, and it's been absolutely amazing. So it took a lot of work. It took once I figured out where we wanted to go, then it took some days to have get to the right people, have the right conversations.
That's great. That's great. There's a lot that goes into running a farmer's market.
Yes, there is.
And I'm sure since it was in the family, you had the privilege of learning along the way. I assume, you know what they say about assuming, but I assume.
I did not learn along the way. No.
Great.
We tell everybody
That's
all the time, hey, just a reminder, whenever thing goes wrong, we have no idea what we're doing. So we told you on the front end, we didn't know what we were doing over here.
It's in the contracts, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I have no idea. Section B, paragraph 4.
Yes, part of the terms and conditions.
There you go.
You must acknowledge we don't know what we're doing. So we're just here to have fun. We're just here to
Sure.
give back to the community, and that's what's the most important. And we keep that at the forefront of everything we do. And we're stressed out during the week because it's become a full-time job for our family. And we have a couple of kids that they're learning how to run a farmer's market, how to run a business. And but it's a lot of work. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. There's a lot of planning because of our themes that we do. We have to engage the community a lot. We need help. We need resources. We need those things. And so there's definitely a lot that goes into planning it week in and week out.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, let's get into the team here and talk a little bit more about this. Brandee Howell with J Bar H. You come from a little bit far away. You come from Joplin.
Yes.
And I'm sure there are other people here that come from a pretty good distance as well. But tell me about the planning that goes into this for you, because there's a lot of travel involved.
Yes, there is. We usually leave the farm at 4:30 in the morning, so that's a 3 o'clock wake up for me because I take a while to get started.
To stir.
But we're a farm-to-table meat store. We raise our own American WineU Akahushi beef and Angus beef at our farm. I work at the farm. That's primarily where I'm located, but I also coordinate everything with our meat store. Fantastic group of talented people who have just as much passion as we do at the farm. So one can't function without the other.
Sure.
So it's constant communication, working with our butchers to make sure that they can get everything I need into their schedule, because we do custom cuts. They process all of our beef and hogs right at the store, and they got to slide me in. And it's a blessing because I'm almost to the point where I'm one day of production, because our fantastic product is so well received here, and it takes some time. So we've finally gotten a kind of a pattern down. I've got wonderful staff at the farm. We've got wonderful staff at the meat store, and if I can't be at the farm because I'm at the meat store, we all just work in tandem, and it's a fantastic experience.
And it's something that's really important for mom and pop retailers are having different places for points of sale. Talk about how important it's been here.
It has been an absolute blessing to have been invited to join the market last summer. I got a phone call, and I didn't know. My phone rings all the time, but it was a lady
Bob,
in
is that you
voicemail.
pranking me again?
Right. So I think it was 2 or 3 days later, I called this lady back, and it was Grant's mother, actually, who left a message, and I talked to Grant's wife, and then I finally put the pieces together, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll do this. Like, we've got a lot of customers who travel from Northwest Arkansas, an hour and 20 minutes to Joplin. Let's take the market down there. So it's a blessing to be able to bring farm-to-table beef, something we're so passionate about, to folks who appreciate all the hard work that goes into producing products in a farmer's market setting, and bring that here to our customers. So in the wintertime, they come see us. In the summertime, we come down and see them.
It's kind of a fair trade, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I have to admit, I missed the market this winter. But then I kept reminding myself it's a lot colder, so we're all right. But it's very important for us to see our customers and engage with them, and the education of why farm-to-table beef is so healthy, why American Akayushi is, a more than prime product.
Absolutely. And we'll
wonderful.
And we'll talk more about that in the next segment. We'll get specific into the actual items. But I want to hop over to Jessica real quick with Timber Acres Homestead. Now you're Lowell, so you're not far.
Yep,
you're
right around the corner.
You're not getting up at 4:30, and well, maybe you are. I don't know.
Aren't you baking until 4:30? Is that usually the thing?
Usually frying donuts at about 3 o'clock.
Oh yes. So how far in advance are you baking for today?
So usually our dough starts. My dough day's on Wednesdays, and then
what's dough day?
Dough day, I'm doing 30 packs of bread at a time in our tubs.
Sure.
So I do 2 of those on Wednesdays, and then on Thursdays I do another 2, just depending on how much we're bringing.
Okay.
And then Friday's my bake day.
Gosh. That's when the house smells amazing, right? Yeah. Wow.
And it's not bathtubs, just to make sure everybody knows that. Yeah.
Could you imagine a loaf that big?
Come here for your bathtub bread. No, that's good clarification, by the way. That's kind of important.
Our bread tubs, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. So how long have you been coming to this farmer's market?
So started actually last year before the tornadoes.
Oh wow.
The week before.
Okay.
And then the next week the tornadoes came through, and we were kind of up in the air. We didn't know what was going on, and then they reached out and were like, we're going to start it up again, and this is where we're going.
Yeah. Boy, that week, did you have a tub day?
Luckily, no.
Okay, good.
No.
Good. I'm about to say that's a lot going down the drain, I'm afraid. Oh, my gosh. So we all know, and this is for all of us here, we all know word-of-mouth marketing is the best marketing there is.
Yes.
How
has it grown for you guys being here? We'll start with Brandee.
With us, just customers who take our business cards, follow us on social media. Social media has been a huge way for us to spread the news on where we are. One thing leads to another. I get a lot of customers every Saturday that we come down here that says, my mom came down and she got some ribs, or those steaks were amazing. I didn't buy them from you, but I had my neighbor invited us over. So every weekend there's more and more people, and it's because if they like our product, they tell their friends. And ask me a question about the farm, ask me a question about our beef, and I'll talk forever. And that's wonderful, because the more I can educate the customers, they know where their food came from. They go back and share that with people, which is super important in the world we live in. You need to know where your food came from. And that's really helped us quite a bit.
Yeah.
Just talk about your product, talk about your passion.
For sure.
Yeah.
Jessica, how about you?
Same deal. We still have people come like, hey, my neighbor brought this loaf of bread over this week, and we had to go get another one. We kind of get that same. And social media, I'm still trying to build it. We didn't start it. We kind of started it pretty late in the game, but we're still getting there. Kind of word of mouth. Hey, my friend told me about this.
Yeah. So, I'm assuming you guys get orders like during the week for you to bring here.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, we have we tell our customers to please call our store by noon on Wednesdays to give our butchers the chance to cut whatever custom cuts they want. We have people who will order a half or whole quarter beef or a half or whole hog, and if it's ready, I'll bring it down here. And we've done that. Actually, our first weekend, I brought a quarter beef with me for a customer who had ordered it. So, yeah, and I love that. I love the fact that if you want it, I'll make I'll make sure that the butchers can do their best to make it happen.
That's great.
So
that's great.
Yeah.
Jessica, how about you?
Yeah, we do the same thing on Tuesdays. I send out an email to my customers, and then they have their chance to put an order in Thursday at 8 p.m.
Yeah,
and then
these are great.
They can just come and pick it up. It's packaged and ready.
These are great.
And
I'm sorry.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
fine. I was just like, during the winter time, we kind of kept that going.
Good.
We still came here, met up, did the pickups between a certain time. because we still had people from over here that wanted to.
Nice.
They're like, how do I get a hold of you?
Yeah,
So,
I'll meet you in the garage.
it literally did feel kind of funky at first. I'm like, this probably looks really weird to the outsider's perspective.
Is this turning into Die Hard or Breaking Bad? Do I need to leave?
It really did
That's
feel
great.
like that.
That's awesome.
I just stretched out my table and had the bag sitting there waiting.
You guys ready to talk food?
Yes.
All right, we'll do that. We've got the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week, and that's coming up next right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas.
Let's go!
Connect with us at Flavors of Northwest Arkansas on Facebook and Instagram, or by email at flavorsofnwa@gmail.com.
All right, it is time for the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week, and for that, we've got everybody. Let's go with Grant. We'll go around the table. Sir.
Shop the shade. That's something that we go to farmers markets all the time. I grew up doing farmers markets. You walk out, it's hot, and you are exposed, and you got all of these vendors that are working just as hard to sell their products or keep their tents from blowing over as they do to sell their products. And so, coming in an environment where you're in the shade, you can meet all of these amazing people that work really hard to bring their products to market. And we don't care if you drive your golf carts in here either. So we see that a lot. People will pull up in their golf carts from across the neighborhood. It's pretty fun to watch. But come shop the shade. That's my tip.
There you go. Plug in your golf carts the night before, so you'll have plenty. Jessica.
I will say sourdough is not as complicated as they try to make it online. So if you want to start it, don't be scared.
Okay.
Also, to piggyback off his, I feel like my bread actually lasts longer because of the shade. Because the sun doesn't beam down on my bags and cause condensation inside the bags, so they don't mold as fast as what others would.
My next band name is going to be The Sun Doesn't Beam Down on My Bags. This is great. Brandee, go ahead.
I have a tip and a half for you.
Okay.
So if you do not have any idea what you're going to make for dinner, you've got company coming over this weekend, the best place to come is the farmer's market, because not only can you get farm-to-table beef, pork, or chicken from me, but I'll help you plan a meal with all of our vegetable vendors. So everything you could ask for is right here, including Jessica's bread, which makes fantastic BLTs with our house-made bacon. But my half tip is when you do buy a steak from me, when you season it, when you grill it, do not season it first. Grill it when it's resting, then season it.
Okay.
I learned that from our butcher. He is not wrong, and he's going to listen to this, and he's going to be so proud I said this. But what happens is when your steak rests, it pulls in all that flavor.
Sure.
When you're grilling it with the seasoning, you're actually burning the seasoning.
Okay.
So, pro tip from our butcher.
How about that?
I think that's a tip and a half.
That's a tip and a half.
Yes.
You're exactly right. That may be 2 tips right there.
I'm going to do
That's
that
true.
tonight.
There you go. We'll talk food next.
Your story doesn't have to end. As an organ donor, the good in you can live on. In fact, you can save up to 8 lives through organ donation. Sign up to give the gift of life after you're gone. You'll be happy you did. Just maybe, someone else will too. Sign up online today as an organ, eye, and tissue donor at organdonor.gov. It saves lives.
I know there are people out there that still need to get their real IDs. The lines at the one in Springdale, not far from my house, I still see people, the packed parking lots, and maybe everyone's just getting brand new cars and needed to go get them registered, but not that many people, I wouldn't think. Don't forget to tell them that you want to be an organ donor. Very important. Have them signify that on your license. If you're not doing it at the Department of Finance, if you're not going there soon, go to organdonor.gov. It's very quick. It's a 5-minute sign-up online for Arkansas and Texas. I don't know about Missouri, but I would assume it's probably not very long. Please do not take those organs with you when you hit your untimely demise. It's organdonor.gov, or if you have an iPhone, hit the Health app there. You can do it through that as well. I hope you do, and thank you so much as always. And we're back here at the Rogers Farmers Market in the Pinnacle area. Hope I said that right. Grant Wise
Yes,
for the
yes.
Farmers Market. We've got Jessica from the Homestead. We'll start calling it the Homestead.
The Homestead.
Timber Acres. And J Bar H, we've got Brandee here. And it's time to finally get into the food. I know we've been tap dancing around it a little bit, but I'm happy to get into it. But before we do, Grant, there's a wide variety of things that are sold here. It's real unfair for me to ask you to describe everything that's here, but if you can kind of do a flyover.
I'm going to do my best.
Okay.
One of the things that's central to our focus at the market is we want to be food first, food focused. And so we are very conscious that 80 to 90% of the vendors that we let into the market have some type of food-based product.
Okay.
And we try to find the best. If you have ever eaten, and if you haven't, come to the market and get it. J Bar H's meats or Jessica's bread. It is, I don't know what is different.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's all of the hard work that we put in that makes it all taste better, or if it's just all the hard work that they put in that makes it all taste better. But we've got meat, we have fresh sourdough bread, we have gluten-free bakers, we have other bakers that bring their sweets, we've got cookies, we've got all kinds of fun stuff there. We've got people that bring beef jerky in, we've got some amazing fresh produce vendors. We've got one vendor that's got, I think it's like 12 different types of tomatoes he will bring to the market when it's in season. And we've got strawberries, obviously that's coming out of season now, but we'll have fresh fruit. Some of the best watermelon I've ever had in my entire life.
It is watermelon time.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait.
I know.
I'm pumped for that. We really try to bring a lot of fresh food because we want to give you guys an experience where you can shop local and eat fresh. And so I don't know if I'm covering it all, and my wife's going to listen back to this. I'm like, well, you didn't say this or you didn't say that.
Well,
there's a lot of amazing food stuff here for sure.
And outside of food, did I see, because I walked through like in 4.5 minutes, I just kind of try to do a once over, but it's not all just food too.
It isn't. No, we've got a lot of great vendors that do teas, and we have coffees, and we have some vendors that come in that they will sell tinctures and oils, and we've got tallow-based sunscreen products or tallow-based oils.
Very
We've
popular
got
right now.
Fresh locally made soaps. A lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
We do let in some vendors that have products that are for your health or for your body or for your mind.
You bet.
There's a lot of that great stuff. We do have, you look at some of the craft vendors we have people that make really amazing kitchen products, wood-based kitchen products, bowls, cutting boards, utensils. You're right. There's definitely a good mix of people that are in here, and they all work so hard. I'm just the guy that gets to sit here on this podcast with you. They do all the hard and important
Here
work.
comes the downplaying.
Yeah. But it really is. It's a lot of amazing products that I think today are more important than ever, for sure.
It's a great walkthrough for sure. I'm going to slow down and do it after we stop here for sure. Jessica, not just bread.
Nope. We also have about 100 head of quail at home, so we normally bring quail eggs.
Okay.
And I actually bake all of my donuts and baked goods and pastries and stuff with the quail eggs.
Interesting.
So they have a little bit bigger yolk on them, so they make a better pastry because they have a higher fat content.
No kidding.
Yeah, so a lot of people can have them if they can't have chicken eggs, because if you're allergic to chicken eggs, usually you can tolerate quail eggs.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And then my boyfriend also does woodworking, so he does a lot of that. Does a lot of custom orders and stuff. But he brought a few things today.
Nice.
But he wants to start bringing more, just to kind of showcase what he can do. And yeah, we do. We're just a smorgasbord over there.
A smorgasbord.
Some of the best donut holes I've ever had in my life.
Oh, no
She
kidding.
makes. Oh my gosh.
They're to
donut
die.
holes. Nice.
Yes. Last week I brought some donuts, like some actual, I don't know how to say the word, I'm going to murder it, but it's like bombolon or something like that, but they're an Italian donut.
Oh, okay.
And I brought those, and I had some that were filled. I couldn't give those things away. But then the people that did have them came back this week and were like, where are those donuts? I'm like, everyone wanted donut holes.
You people.
So I don't know what to bring anymore.
Oh my gosh. That's great. Brandee.
Yes.
I've got to ask you about the American Wagyu Akaushi.
Akaushi.
I did it right, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Good job. So we raise our American Wagyu Akaushi on our farm. It's a very unique breed. Genetically came into the U.S. by a plane. There was, I think, 14 heifers and 3 or 4 bulls that were brought here from Japan that started the Akaushi herd.
Okay.
What is most amazing is not only are they docile and easy animals to handle, and they make great mothers, but the health benefits of our Akahushi beef rival that of olive oil. Now, we've all heard about how olive oil, as studied by the American Heart Association, is good for lowering cholesterol. It's high in oleic acid. That same is true with the Akahushi fat. So if you see a lot of marbling in our beef, a lot of people shy away from it because they don't want to eat fat. However, it's actually healthy for you. The American Heart Association did do some studies with the American Akahushi Association, and they found that not only can it help lower cholesterol, helps prevent coronary artery disease, it's a great source of protein and healthy fat for diabetics.
Okay.
Key in weight loss, we have customers who swear by it, those folks who are on the high protein keto diets. We have seen the results, and I can attest to it. I mean, my husband and I send our beef home to our families, so we know that they're eating healthy.
There you go.
They're getting older. I love the fact that, I can send beef home to them.
Sure.
One thing I'm passionate about is also educating the customer about that. So not only is our beef 100% all natural, hormone antibiotic free, no kind of funny business whatsoever, grass-fed, grain-finished. Our cows are able to do cow things. We don't, none of that stuff. If we're entrusted with caring for the animals, it's our job to give them the best life.
Yeah.
So at the time of harvest, I can confidently say that we've raised the best beef for our community and our family.
And you've got more than that.
Yes, absolutely. So we also raise Angus.
Yep.
So our Angus that we sell at the store is raised in the same kind of conditions as our Akahushi. We are also very proud to feature pasture-raised pork. So pigs that do pig things, and they live their best life until it's time. But our friends in Lamar, Missouri follow the same protocol that we do, and we're proud to be able to bring their pork and feature that through our store. And the same is true with the chicken that we carry. It's all Missouri grown, pasture-raised chicken, no hormones, antibiotic free. So it's a very good feeling, and it's like a labor of love. We see the passion at the farm, we see the passion at the meat store to bring the healthiest, best tasting proteins to our community and feed our families.
Awesome. Awesome. Grant, I know we're already knee-deep into market season. If someone hears this and maybe they want to join, get a booth, are they able to, or is it locked out?
No, we welcome any vendor to apply. They just go to rogersfarmersmarket.com. They'll see the vendor tab. They can click that. They can apply. We pay very, very special attention to everybody that applies. We are very selective because we want to make sure we're not creating too much competition for our vendors. We're bringing the best products to market, and so we will look it over with a fine-tooth comb. But we welcome anybody to apply, and we often have people that will come to the market shop and say, "I want to set up here. This is amazing."
Yeah.
We welcome it 100%.
Okay, and where can they find you? Social media.
It's the Rogers Farmers Market on Facebook, and then at Rogers Farmers Market on Instagram as well. At the Rogers Farmers Market on Instagram.
Okay,
as well.
All right. No TikTok, no Snap, none of that.
We've got a lot of work going on, so we just picked a couple platforms, and we're going to stick with that.
I say this every week. I'm like, okay, I've gotten into TikTok. I'm figuring it out. I'm not figuring it out, but I'm on there.
I'm not that
cool. The stuff I put on TikTok looks prehistoric. I mean, it's just. I need someone half my age to do it. Anyway, sorry, Jessica. Where can people find you?
Yep, you can find us on Instagram or Facebook. We also don't have TikTok.
Fair.
But we're at Timber Acres Homestead is where you can find us at.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah. Or we also have a website, timberacres.squarespace.
Okay.
Is where you can do pre-orders at.
Oh, nice. I get it. Okay, great. And Brandee, where can folks find you?
They can find us in a lot of places. In Joplin, you can visit us at our meat store Monday through Saturdays. It's at 1316 Broadway Street in downtown Joplin. A lot of folks know it as the Old Lumpy's Restaurant. You can also find
That's
us...
how I knew it.
Right? You can also shop online at www.jhcattlemeatstore.com. We ship our products on dry ice to the lower 48 states. It's a great way to send gifts to loved ones across the country.
Interesting.
We're happy to do that for you. You can also find us on Facebook. Just look for J-8 Cattle Co. Meat Store. and our farm as well. We piggyback off from each other. Social media is where you can keep up with everything that we got going on, from sales in the store. Later this summer, once we start doing daily lunches again, we'll post our daily lunches.
Okay.
If you have pre-orders that you want to make, please call our store at 417-309-6328 by noon on Wednesdays, and our butchers will be happy to prepare that so that I can load it in my trailer and bring it here on Saturday.
My gosh, you got it all. You got it set up and ready to roll.
I got it right.
You got every pipeline.
I didn't give out my cell phone number, but that's okay.
And that's maybe next time.
Maybe.
You can find Flavors of Northwest Arkansas on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok-ish. Please tip your servers. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.